little bit.
Yes, sir.
I can.
Hello, everybody. Sri Kumar Swami College, Ausa, which is in District Latur, State Maharashtra, takes this opportunity of International E-Conference to greet all honorable dignitaries and participants here at the virtual platform. The topic of today's International E-Conference is Naked Leadership is Learning to Lead. The college, Sri Kumar Swami College, Ausa, is affiliated to Swami Ramananda Tirth Marathwada University, Nanded. The college conducts number of innovative activities for the benefit of students, researchers, teachers, intellectuals, academicians, and all stakeholders. The activities are going on without any interruption very successfully, and it is due to the strong academic leadership of the chief organizer and chairperson of International Webinar Series and international conferences, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar, sir. On behalf of the organizing committee of International E-Conference, Sri Kumar Swami College, Ausa, I welcome you, sir, as the chairperson of today's International E-Conference. Today, I feel immense pleasure to inform all the delegates and participants that among us we are having Honorable Dignitary Carol Metz Murray ma'am from Greater Vancouver Metropolitan area. On behalf of organizing committee, International Conference Sri Kumar Swami College, Ausa, I heartily greet you, ma'am, as the chief guest and keynote speaker. All the participants who have joined here from different parts of India and from all over the world are eager to listen your keynote speech. So I do not want to spend much time and would like to request you to start your keynote speech and presentation. Please, ma'am, welcome.
Thank you so much. And well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm delighted to be here with you. And yes, I talk about naked leadership. And generally, when I talk about naked leadership, everybody gets concerned. So truly, the qualifier is that you get to keep your clothes on, because this is looking at who we are as leaders. And with that, for me, leading is all about learning to lead yourself first and foremost before you lead anyone else in your life, in your work, wherever it may be. And what I have discovered truly is that to be a naked leader really is all about discovering who you are. And what I mean by that is taking a look at who you are. Are you vulnerable? Are you authentic? Are you real? One of the things that I've discovered that if you choose not to live to be that real individual, it will impact you emotionally and mentally. And that then really makes you stop and question what's going on. What I discovered in my life journey, was that no one was going to come to save me. Absolutely not. I had to learn to stand up on my own 2 feet to discover who I was at any part of my life. And what a journey it's been. You know, several years ago when I launched the Naked Leadership Institute, I had someone say to me, Carol, you need a self-image adjustment. What would you do if someone said that to you? What does that mean to you? For me, it meant that I really needed to take even a deeper look at who I was. And with you during this time today, I really would like to share with you the steps that I took to begin to discover who I was, to lead my life in my work, in my business, and in my personal life. Because all of those are combined, regardless of where we live on this wonderful globe. And there is no time like right now to really, really discover who you are. And quite frankly, I don't care if you're 150 years old, whether you're 5 years old, or whether you're 50. There is no better time than right now to have a look at who you are. Before I begin those steps, may I share a little bit about me? Because my leadership journey began at the age of 5. Yes, 5. When I had a grade 8 dropout to say to me, Carol, you need to come with me and you need to learn how to be a farm entrepreneur. That grade 8 dropout was my dad. You see, he had to quit school to step in to take over the family farm. He was the youngest of 9 children. And that time that I spent with my dad, learning how to be a leader on the farm, really began my leadership journey. And what I discovered in that leadership journey at the age of 5 was that it was different to lead horses than it was, say, to lead chickens. Chickens flock together. Horses, yes, they do, but horses have a different way of looking at the world. So I was truly blessed to walk that journey. And my first leadership task was at the age of 19, when I was asked to step into a corporation to help it reconfigure itself because it needed to do that. Its processes and systems were all in disarray. I didn't have any schooling or training in that area, but I knew what to do and I stepped in and I did it. From that point on, I continued to build my leadership career, and it was exciting because I love to serve the community. But that all came to a screeching halt one day when I was driving to my last course where I was working on earning my Master's of Public Administration. And I knew something was desperately wrong with me because I had been driving for 500 miles. And out of those 500 miles, I only remembered about driving 200 of them. What was really scary was I was driving on a mountain road and I could have driven off the road and I wouldn't have known what had happened to me. When I got to my destination, I called my doctor. And my doctor said at that point, Carol, you need to do something about your life. You've been living in high stress. Your body is burnt out. And she was right. I needed to deal with my life, and I needed to make a decision right there and right then to shift my life. That decision cost me my dream job. It meant I needed to move, I needed to relocate, and I was a single mom. But I knew right then and right there that if I didn't make a decision, I would not survive, because my mental health was in tatters as well as my physical health. And that truly was the moment that naked leadership began to take hold. So when we look at who we are, and when you look at who you are in moving forward in your careers and in your business, one of the very first things to think about is, quite frankly, who are you? Decide who it is that you are, and really begin to have a look. And in deciding who you are, it's really challenging sometimes to look at the hard parts of who we are. I don't know if you may remember the movie that came out in the late 1980s. Maybe some of you, that was before your time, but it was a movie that was called A Zoo. And in that movie, Matt Damon, who was playing the part of the father, said to his son, all it takes is 20 seconds of insane courage to make a decision. We don't make decisions based on checklists. We make decisions based on what's going on inside of us, whether it's courage or whether it's fear. And who do you let run your life? Who drives your bus? Courage or fear? For me, fear is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. And when I made the decision that I needed to change my life, I sent fear to the back of the bus and I said, no more. And I began to bring courage out and build my courage muscle. You know, it's like if you go to the gym, if you're a runner, whatever it might be, you build strength in your body. And courage began to do that for me. And the thing is that if we choose to live in that place of fear, fear keeps us small and confined, and it may also bring out patterns that we put in place to keep us safe when we were little, and maybe those patterns don't serve us anymore. And making that decision really and truly is the gap between the decision and the action. Several years ago, I worked with a client who came to me wanting help. Said, Carol, please help me. And I kept asking, what is it you need help with? And they sat and they cried. And they cried. On the third appointment, they sat in a chair and they began to cry. And out of my mouth came the words, when are you going to stop running? Immediately, the tears stopped. And they looked at me surprised. And I said to them, what I'm noticing is that you wear running shoes all the time. And their response was, well, yes, I wear running shoes all the time, every day. And the running shoes were a metaphor for their life. They were running away from what it was that they needed to have a look at. They were living in fear. That client left my office, decided that she would change her shoes and put on walking shoes. When I next saw her, she had taken control of her life. And what she had done was she had signed up to go back to school to build up her skills so that she could get a better paying job. She also decided that she would look for a new place to live. And she was in the process of acquiring that. And she had also decided that she would take some steps that were needed for her to become a co-parent with her ex-husband. And when she came back, she said, "Thank you. It's really different to put on a pair of walking shoes. Yes, I still put on my running shoes to go running, but I am seeing life differently." So she made a decision to move forward. And we all can. Each and every one of us, as you're in your business, when you're with your family, when you're with your friends, take that time to have a look at who you are. Instead of being challenged about having a self-image adjustment. It can be fun if you really, really, truly look at it that way. It can help bring a life balance into your work and into your life. It can help you to step more fully into who you are as that masculine energy or who you are as the feminine energy. One of the other aspects of really discovering who I was, who was I being at any point in my life, was that I needed to learn to demask. And that can be scary. When we pull off the masks that we have put on our faces and the shields that we have put on in front of us to protect us so that we feel safe. But truly, they don't really keep us safe. We think they do, but they don't. That was a journey I am forever grateful for. Because you see, along the journey of demasking, I discovered that I didn't need the masks because that wasn't who I was. I discovered that the more mask I took off, the more I discovered that really and truly the compassionate, caring me was who I was. Yes, I was a leader. But when I demasked, when I really stepped into who I was there for others. I really, truly could hold the space for them as they discovered who they were. And that is an absolute humbling privilege, as I am there for others as they discover that, as they step into who they are. And the more that we step into who we are, the more productive we will be, the more caring we will be for others, the more we will walk in partnership with others versus having to think that we control and we use our power that way. Yes, sometimes there are hard decisions that need to be made, and we make them as leaders, but we make them with caring and compassion. So I encourage each and every one of you, take off your masks. I had a client who lived in fear because she felt unsupported, and she had dreams. She had dreams of establishing her own business. She was a single mom, and yes, she needed to work. So we spent time together, and really and truly, I was there for her as she allowed herself to build her dream and step beyond what everyone else expected from her. And she allowed those barriers to move away. And they did. They melted away. And she established not one, but 2 businesses in the time that we worked together. And she's done it in a way that actually she has time for her children, and she also has time for community and her clients. And I know each and every one of you can also do that and be that. Really and truly, I can't emphasize enough about being who you are. That truth comes from deep within us. And the more that we operate from our heart, the more that we take that journey from the top of our head to our heart, which is about an 18-inch journey, the more that we will connect with ourselves and with others. I recently experienced that journey in a new way. That journey of decluttering and taking off the masks, because truly for me, that's a lifelong journey. And that happened recently in me supporting my grown children. I was there supporting them as they moved through their life journeys and continue to move through their life journeys. But what I discovered was that I wasn't supporting me. Now, how helpful can that be? And I learned that I needed to take time for me. And that taking time also was coming from my heart. And today, as I'm here with you and speaking with you, the more I speak from my heart to each and every one of you, the more that I feel connected to who you are. Because each and every one of you are special. You truly are, regardless of where you are in your life journey, where you are in your community, where you are in your family. Each and every one of you bring special gifts to the world. As I said, do you know who you are being? Who are you in every aspect of your life? Who are you in every moment of your life? And living from being you in the corporate world really makes a difference in a larger arena. So really and truly, as you move forward, just imagine who you are and live that life fully. Declutter who you are. Live your values. And yes, your values may be challenged by community, by family. However, live into your values. The word intimacy for me means into me I see. And yes, we all have intimate relationships, but first and foremost, have that with yourself And that is not selfish. That, quite frankly, is being truly who you are. So as you move forward, step in to having that self-image adjustment. Yeah, it can be scary, but that's okay. Life is an adventure. Life is a journey. We are given the time here on this wonderful earth from when we take our first breath until we take our last breath. Be who you truly are. Be there for you. Be there for your family. Be there for your coworkers, and be there for your community. I truly, truly believe in who you are. Lead yourself before you lead others. Thank you for having me with you this morning, or this evening, or this afternoon. I am humbled to be here with you. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Baker, sir, Principal, sir, the organizing committee. Good morning, ma'am. I think it is a beautiful morning over here. In the morning. When I heard the name of your place, Vancouver, so I remember, in Mr. Petromachi also we are using the reference system, Vancouver method, so I think I is from that name only. So wonderful presentation you have made, ma'am. And when we relate it with our own life and when we relate it, with our own scenarios, I think we understand better. And I think that you have done very well. So how you have developed your leadership, because if I'm exemplary, then only I can tell others. And I think you have done a lot from that stage. So that is a wonderful explanation what you have given, and it has really created impression on our minds. So leaders are not just born, with and what they are not having leadership. But mind you, with the experiences, what I feel, with their experiences, with their various kinds of events which the person come across, slowly person builds into leaders, and that feeds into truly leadership. And who I am, or who am I? I've seen one of the movie, man, Jackie Chan's movie. Over there, he lost his memory, and then he started searching for himself. Who am I? And I think we should do all those things, but we should do. Who am I? And we really want. Now is it clear? Just a minute.
Yes, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I remember that movie of Jackie Chan, who am I? And he started searching his own identity in the people community. And I think we should do that only. We should tap out our own potential. We try to search for our own self. And the human mind and the human being, they are the minds of a James. And many of the times we cannot go to that depth to find out those gems. The gems are with us, but many of the times we forget to collect them or recognize them. So thank you very much, ma'am, for your wonderful explanation and presentation today. My question is about the leadership is, there are different varieties of leadership, like political leadership, social leadership. Then we are having, even a corporate office also, one person becomes a leader and other people follow him. So when we are having this leadership, many of the time it happens that, the leader has to take many responsibilities and the other people, they are just observer or they are followers. So how we can develop a kind of organization organelle and how we can become a better leader. Thank you. Connectivity problem, hi sir.
Yes, my apologies. I got booted off. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, ma'am. We can hear you. The question is, my question was, I was asking, many of the times if I got a chance for becoming leader, many of the time it happens that I carry a lot of burden with me only. And my followers or my, subordinates, they are little relaxed for that time. So to get a good organization and, to become a good leader, what kind of virtues, I should have? That is my question.
You're asking me what kind of work shoes you should have?
Many of the time it happens, ma'am, the people are forcing, the leadership is sometimes in organization, we have to take a leadership point. But many of the times we carry those leadership, we become a victim for that. And the other people, the subordinates become relaxed that this member is there as a leader, let him do his job. So many of the time it happens. So what kind of virtues I had to develop, to get everyone together and make them work together? And that is what my question is.
Well, in my years of leadership, what I have discovered is in bringing people together. Now, everybody is going to be wearing different kinds of shoes for certain, but quite frankly, the more that I learned to listen and really, truly listen to what people were saying, what they weren't saying, and then really taking that and working with them where they are at, not where I'm at, but where they are at, and help them to move forward in their own leadership style, because their leadership style may be different from mine. But it's up to me as the leader to really, truly get to know them and really find out who they are. And from that, the more you find out, the more you listen to them, the more that they feel heard, the more they will come along with you as the leader. And I refer to that as radical listening.
Yeah, the listening is, I think it is a strength, to listen people and to know them and what they are feeling and how they want to go forward. I think that gives a sense of ownership also to them when we listen to them carefully. And that ownership, I think, brings, more closeness in the team. Yeah, perfectly well said, ma'am. Thank you very much. Wonderful explanation you had given today. And really, to become a leader, I think, the experience, what you have, gone through, I think that really, that makes you leader, true leader. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Me? Yes. Can you hear me? Yeah. Hello. And everyone. Actually, my question is not actually the question, but I believe that the just now respected delegates has asked a question just before me. The thing is that I believe in humanity. In that sense, what type of leadership we should develop, whether it should be democratic or autocratic, how we differentiate between these two to get a better humanity. Ma'am, please.
That's a question that I could respond to, and we could be here all night talking about that. And really in looking at people across this wonderful globe, really and truly people come with so many different gifts. From my perspective, we are all connected. We are all connected, and with the uniqueness that each and every one of us has, why not bring all of us together to move forward with what the people need and want to make life good and better, regardless of where you are, whether you are in India, whether you are, say, in Spain, whether you are in Australia. Everybody has different needs and wants, but quite frankly, we as people are very strong. And again, as I look at the world and where we are right at this time, there is a shift happening everywhere. And I look at it and say, we are all, each and every one of us, being called to step into our strength as individuals and help each other to move forward. So really and truly, regardless of who we are, and how we define, say, democracy, you and I can have a conversation, and I suspect we will probably define it a little differently. But where I stand in and what I stand in is really, truly as the human that I am and as the human that you are, let's work together to make this a better planet.
Thank you. Thank you, Calvin.
Yes, sir. I'm audible. Hello. Yeah, thank you, sir, Mr. Bedkar, sir, for this wonderful platform you provided to us, and Carol, madam. it was really a marvelous presentation on the leadership. Yes, we should be courageous. We should remove, the fear, whatever the fear we have. And especially, it's very nice to hear from you that at 5 years of age, you started your leadership. So that was really wonderful. And every step of your life, your journey, the leadership, you have experienced the role of leadership in every stage of your life. It's really wonderful, madam, to listen from you. And I would like to ask one question connected to this. In some situations, in some, when we look to some of the turbulent situations, especially as a woman, a female, we have been lowered. They see us low, in fact. So, how to tackle this situation, how to overcome this situation as a woman in a society or in an organization or wherever our leadership as a woman. So some of the factors will make us, to be seen low in the society, right? So ma'am, how to overcome this and how to take the measures and how to come out from this as a woman?
A great question, Sandra. And that too is, we could discuss that, my response and your thoughts. We could go on all night long to look at that and what can we as women do.
Yes.
Over time, over the years, what I have learned is that the more that I step into and claim who I am, the more that I am able to stand firmly in who I am. Now, I know that in various roles, in business and corporations, that is challenging.
Yeah.
To really be able to have our voices heard. However, the part of having your voice heard is up to you, and sometimes your voice needs to be made even a little louder. Now, I will share with you an experience that I had in the corporate world where I was, yes, in the leadership role, and I was working with elected officials. And there was a situation where an individual had come into the office and they were incredibly angry because of things that had gone on. They were so angry. They were about, from my perspective, ready to explode. Now, there wasn't one individual in the room who was prepared to stand up to this, and it was a man who was so angry. In fact, I was asked to go and deal with this individual. Now, I looked at everyone and I went, okay, this man is angry because he's feeling not heard. And I knew what that was like, because there were often times in my career, in my leadership, that I felt not heard. And so for me at that moment was to step into my strength and put fear to the back of the bus And I met with that man, and I listened and I listened and I listened. But the part is, he felt heard. But for me, what it did for me was it built my courage more. And there have also been circumstances in my leadership career where there were others who, in essence, they wanted to drive their bus over, say, who I was. And so I hear what you were saying, Sandra. And did that happen? Yes, that did happen to me on a number of occasions, but I learned and said, no more, no more. And I stood up and said, I too have something to say. And I was listened to. Now, does that just happen overnight? No. But what I encourage you to do is to really, really claim who you are. And the more that you claim who you are, whether you are the feminine Sandra, and I know that you have strength, I know that. Claim that.
Yes.
The more that you do that, the more others will recognize that, and they will honor you for stepping into that strength.
Yes, exactly.
Will there be those who in life who are into power and control and dominance? Yes, there are. Then we, as women and men, because it happens to both women and men, and I will agree with you, Sandra, more often women, but then we must make a decision. We must make a decision.
Yes.
In my years of experience and life, I know without a doubt that women have a huge strength.
Yes.
And I also know that men have a huge strength. And this isn't about power and control. This is about the strength that we have in who we are as individuals. And I will stop there because I could go on and on and on.
That was a really great answer, ma'am. Karen, ma'am, it was a really wonderful session. And leadership is everywhere, in fact. Like every step of our life, we have to play many roles as a leader, looking to the opposite person. Thank you so much, madam, for this. Thank you, Betker sir, for this wonderful, the platform once again you're provided to us. And there's so many resource persons are coming onto this platform and they're sharing the knowledge in different topics. Really, it is a wonderful, wonderful. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome, Sandra, and it is a wonderful platform, and I feel honored to be here with you, to share with you, and that's one of the gifts that we have received over the last number of years, is to have these kinds of platforms where we can come together around the globe and learn from each other.
Thank you for the technology. Thank you for the technology God has given to us.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
All over the world, we are just coming and then meeting on this platform. Thank you to God as well. Okay,
yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Right.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for
Vedka sir.
having me. And if you want to share more, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to share with all of you. Thank you so much. I am just so honored.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, respected Betka sir. Really, it is a very wonderful presentation today. Thanks, Carl madam. You have taken together a very nice answer for my question.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, ma'am.